students, welcome to the lecture on product life cycle learning, and after the lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Discuss the meaning of product life cycle, PLC, explain the stages of PLC, define the product life cycle strategies, discuss the marketing strategies, describe new product development process. Let's start with an introduction to product life cycle. The product life cycle is an important concept in marketing. It describes the stages a product goes through from when it was first thought of until it finally is removed from the market. Not all products reach this final stage. Some continue to grow and others rise and fall. The main stages of the product life cycle are introduction, researching, developing and then launching the product. Growth, when sales are increasing at the fastest rate. Maturity, sales are near their highest but the rate of growth is slowing down. Example, new competitors and market saturation. Decline, final stage of the cycle when sales begin to fall. A branded good can enjoy continuous growth such as Microsoft because the product is being constantly improved and advertised, maintains a strong brand loyalty. Extension strategies extend the life of the product before it goes into decline. Again, businesses use marketing techniques to improve sales. Examples of the techniques are advertising. They try to gain a new audience or remind the current audience. Price reduction. They are more attractive to customers. Adding value. Add new features to the current product. Example, video, messaging on mobile phones. Explore new markets. They try selling abroad. New packaging. Brightening up old packaging or subtle changes such as putting crisps in foil packets or 70s music compilations. Let us now find out about the meaning of product life cycle. The period of time over which an item is developed, brought to the market and eventually removed from the market. First, the idea for a product undergoes research and development. If the idea is determined to be feasible and potentially profitable, the product will be produced, marketed and rolled out. Assuming the product becomes successful, its production will grow until the product becomes widely available. Eventually, demand for the product will decline and it will become obsolete. At the beginning of a product's life, it may have a little to no competition in the marketplace, until competitors start to emulate it when it shows signs of success. As the product becomes more successful, it will face increasing number of competitors and may lose market share. For example, a brand new product will need to be explained to consumers, while a product that is further along in its life cycle will need to be differentiated from its competitors. The product life cycle goes through many phases, which involves many professional disciplines and requires many skills, tools and processes. Product life cycle, PLC, has to do with the life of a product in the market with respect to business and commercial costs and sales measures. To say that a product has a life cycle is to assert four things: that products have a limited life, product sales pass through distinct stages, each posing different challenges, opportunities and problems to the seller. Profits rise and falls at different stages of product life cycle, and products require different marketing, financial, manufacturing, purchasing and human resource strategies in each life cycle stage. The different stages in a product life cycle are: the market introduction stage. The cost is high, sales volume low, no or little competitive. Competitive manufacturers watch for acceptance, segment growth losses, the demand has to be created, the customers have to be prompted to try the product. The growth stage. The costs is reduced due to economies of scale, the sales volume increases significantly, there is profitability, there is public awareness, the competition begins to increase with a few players in the market, prices to maximize market share. Then the mature stage. Costs are very low and we are well established in the market and there is no need for publicity. The sales volume peaks, there is increase in competitive offerings, prices tend to drop due to the proliferation of competing products. Brand differentiation, feature diversification as each player seeks to differentiate from competition with how much product is offered. Industrial profits go down, then comes the saturation and decline stage. The cost becomes counter-optimal, the sales volume decline or they stabilize, prices, profitability diminish, profit becomes more a challenge of production and distribution, efficiency, then increased sales.
What is a product life cycle actually? Product life cycle is the course of the product, sales and profit over a time. Product life cycle deal with the life of a product in the market with respect to business or commercial cost and sales measures. The 5 stages of the each product life cycle are product development, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. It is an introduction about the product life cycle. The product development stage begins when the company finds and develops a new product. During the product development, sales are zero and the company's investment cost amount. This is the pre-stages. Second, the introduction stage is a period of a slow sales growth as the product is being introduced in the market. Profits are non-existent in this stage because of the heavy expenses of a product introduction. Third, the growth stage is a period of a rapid market acceptance and increasing profit. Fourth, the maturity stage is a period of a slowdown in a sales growth because the product has achieved acceptance by most potential buyers. Profit level or decline because of the increased market outlet to defend the product against the competition. Fifth, the decline stage is the period when a sale fall off and a profit drop. It's an introduction about a product life cycle. First stage of the product life cycle is the introduction stage. At the introduction stage, market size and the growth is a slight. It is possible that the substantial research and the development cost have been incurred in getting the product to this stage. In addition, marketing cost may be high in order to test the market, launch the promotion and set up the distribution channels. It is highly unlikely that companies will make profit on a product at the introduction stage. Products at this stage have to be carefully monitored to ensure that they start to grow. Otherwise, the best option may be to withdraw or end the product. Second stage, which is the growth stage. The growth stage is characterized by rapid growth in a sale and a profit. Profit arises due to an increases in output and possibly better prices. At this stage, it is cheaper for a business to invest in increasing the market share as well as enjoying the overall growth of the market. Accordingly, significant promotional resources are traditionally invested in the product that are firmly in the growth stage. Third stage, which is the maturity stage. The maturity stage is perhaps the most common stage for all markets. It is in this stage that competition is most intense as the companies fight to maintain their market share. Here both marketing and the finance become key activities. Marketing spend has to be monitored carefully since any significant moves are likely to be copied by the competitors. The maturity stage is the time when the most profit is earned by the market as a whole. Any expenditure on research and development is likely to be restricted to the product modification and improvement and perhaps to improve production efficiency and the quality. The fourth stage, which is the decline stage. In the decline stage, the market is just shrinking, reducing the overall amount of a profit that can be shared among the remaining competitors. At this stage, the great care has to be taken to manage the product carefully. It may be possible to take out some production cost to transfer the production to a cheaper facility. Sell the product into the other cheaper market. Care should be taken to control the amount of stock of the product. Ultimately, depending on whether the product remains profitable, a company may decide to end the product. Example. Set out of below are some suggestions, example of the product that are the currently different stages of the product life cycle. The first, introduction stage. The third generation mobile phones, e-conferencing, all-in-one racing skin suit, iris-based personal identity cards. Second, growth stage. Portable DVD player, email, breathable synthetic fabrics, smart cards. Maturity, which is the third stage. Personal computers, faxes, cotton t-shirts, credit cards. Decline, which is the fourth stage. Examples: typewriter, handwritten letters, shell suits, checkbooks.
Now let's discuss the product life cycle stages. As consumers, we buy millions of products every year. And just like us, these products have a life cycle. older, long-established products eventually become less popular, while in contrast, the demand for new, more modern goods usually increases quite rapidly after they are launched. Because most companies understand the different product life cycle stages and that the products they sell all have a limited lifespan, the majority of them will invest heavily in new product development in order to make sure that their businesses continue to grow. The product life cycle has four very clearly defined stages, each with its own characteristics that mean different things for business that are trying to manage the life cycle of their particular products. Introduction stage. This stage of the cycle could be the most expensive for a company launching a new product. The size of the market for the product is small, which means sales are low, although they will be increasing. On the other hand, the cost of things like research and development, consumer testing, and the marketing needed to launch the product can be very high, especially if it is a competitive sector. The growth stage. The growth stage is typically characterized by a strong growth in the sales and the profits. And because the company can start to benefit from economies of scale in production, the profit margins as well as the overall amount of profit will increase. This makes it possible for businesses to invest more money in the promotional activity and maximize the potential of this growth stage. Maturity stage. During the maturity stage, the product is established and the aim for the manufacturer is now to maintain the market share they have built up. This is probably the most competitive time for most products and businesses need to invest wisely in any marketing they undertake. The decline stage. Eventually, the market for a product will start to shrink and this is what is known as the decline stage. This shrinkage could be due to the market becoming saturated, that is all the customers who will buy the product have already purchased it, or because the consumers are switching to a different type of product. While this decline may be inevitable, it may still be possible for companies to make some profit by switching to less expensive production methods and cheaper markets. Product life cycle examples. It is possible to provide examples of various products to illustrate the different stages of the product life cycle more clearly. Here is the example of watching recorded television and the various stages of each method. Introduction, 3D TVs. Growth, Blu-ray discs, DVR. Maturity, DVD. Decline, video cassette. The idea of the product life cycle has been around for some time and it is an important principle manufacturers need to understand in order to make a profit and stay in business. Advantage of product life cycle. Business is often associated with the drier side of dullness and many of us frequently refer with some distaste to getting around to the business side of things. But over the years, some very useful methods and techniques have emerged from the other side, many of which can be beneficial to all of us. After all, while we may consider much of what we do as a labor of love, we are nonetheless trying to make some money out of the whole thing as well. A good place to start is the concept of the product life cycle. Like most things, the sales and demand for our software conform to some sort of pattern. The advantages of the product life cycle concept are that it provides a basic structure that allows us to see where we are and what lies ahead. There are four components to the cycle: the introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Now let's discuss the product life cycle strategies. Effective product life cycle management (PLM) improves the ability of the manufacturing enterprise to make better and faster product-related decisions. Manufacturers must adopt PLM as a strategy to make effective product portfolio, design, manufacturing and sustaining decisions. The introduction phase sees the product being launched. Sales at this stage are still slow and product is non-existent due to the need to cover expenses generated during the development phase and launch campaign. The growth phase sees the product being accepted by the consumer, resulting in an increase of profits. During maturity, sales slow down due to the presence of competitors or the loss of interest among the consumers. Even though this phase may lead to the decline of the product, some companies have managed to re-enter a growth phase after carefully repositioning their products. Each stage requires a different approach to strategic marketing planning. When introducing a new product in a small market, a company might often opt for a slow introduction, setting a high price and a low marketing budget. While a high price would help recover profits as fast as possible, it has to be noted that this strategy would only work with the so-called innovators, those clients who already know about the product and are ready to pay to acquire it. If, on the other hand, potential clients know little or nothing about the new product, a substantial marketing investment would be required. A high price, high promotion spending strategy would be effective only targeted at clients who are price insensitive. Maturity stage is characterized by the slowing down of sales. This is a time when a revision of the product, advertising, and sales strategies are required and innovation is needed the most. One way is to develop the market further and aim at new consumer segments the brand is not serving. This is called repositioning and is usually preceded by an in-depth market research aimed at establishing the brand's position with respect to the market, consumers, and the competition. No repositioning can be successful without a preceding research phase. A further strategy would be to add additional features to the product. The typical case is that of gaming consoles, which evolved from mere gaming platforms to multimedia ones, allowing users to navigate the internet and share content with their home computers. A third strategy would be that of modifying the marketing mix, trying new media relevant to the target audience or increasing the product's presence in fast-growing media. Eventually, a brand may experience a decline in sales. This may be due to the increased competition, impossibility to keep up with technology developments, or loss of interest by consumers. Some companies may opt for cutting down prices or eliminating underperforming products. The latter strategy may be necessary to avoid dedicating time, money, and efforts to weak products and divert them towards better performing ones in terms of sales. Others may decide to stay in the market, hoping competitors will eventually leave. Again, brand repositioning may be another viable solution in this case. However, this must be preceded by market research for the process to be effective.
Every product passes through four stages in its life, namely introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. The concept of product life cycle highlights that sooner or later all products die, and that if an entrepreneur wishes to sustain its revenues, he must replace the declining products with the new ones. The figure which is displayed here shows that as the product moves through different stages of its life cycle, sales volume and profitability change from stage to stage. We'll start with the first phase, introduction. The first stage of product life cycle is the introduction or pioneering stage. Under this state, the fixed costs of marketing and production will be high, so cost per unit is very high, and competition is almost non-existent. Profits are usually non-existent as heavy expenses are incurred for introducing the product in the market. Sales are low as very few customers try this product because this is the first time the product introduced in the market, so very few customers wants to try this product, and these customers called as innovators. And now we'll see what are the strategies to be applied. In the product strategy, the product should be introduced without any deficiencies. And coming to the price should be kept highest because of small scale production and technological problems and heavy promotional expenditures. And coming to the promotion strategies, money back guarantee may be given to stimulate the people to try the product. Attractive gifts to customers as an introductory offer, and attractive discount to dealers. Higher price of product to earn more profit during the initial stages. And distribution strategy, the product should be distributed selectively. And next phase is growth phase. In growth phase, sales as well as profits increase rapidly as the product is accepted in the market. As more firms enter into the market, the competition increases. The sales also increases. And the customers in this phase are known as early adopters. And coming to the strategies, the product strategies, the new versions of the product are introduced to cater the requirements of different types of customers. Sometimes major improvements take place in the product during this stage. And coming to the pricing strategy, the price is made competitive. So to stimulate more sales. And coming to the promotional strategies, product is advertised heavily to stimulate sales, and brand image of product is created through promotional activities. Great emphasis is given on customer service. And coming to the distribution, the market share can be improved by deeper penetration into the existing markets and entry into new markets. And the next phase is maturity phase. The product enters into maturity stage as competition intensifies further and market gets stabilized. There is saturation in the market as there is no possibility of sales growth. Profits come down because of stiff competition and marketing expenditures rises. And coming to the product strategies, product may be differentiated from the competitive products and brand image may be emphasized more. New uses of product may be developed. The prices are decreased because of competition and innovations in technology. Coming to the promotion strategies, warranty period may be extended, reusable packaging may be introduced, sales promotions to encourage brand switching. And coming to the distribution strategy, new markets should be developed and close dealer relationships are maintained. The next phase is decline phase. This stage is characterized by either the product's gradual displacement by some new products or change in customers' buying behavior. Sales fall down and expenditures on promotions has to be cut down drastically. Profits are much smaller in this phase. Only loyal customers will still buy this product. So the product strategy should be the companies try to find out new uses of the product, and economic packaging should be introduced to revive the product, and the price should be reduced to stimulate sales. And coming to the promotional strategies, minimum advertisement and sales promotional to retain only loyal customers. Distribution strategy, the product should be distributed selectively only where the sale can be maximum.
We shall now take a look at the marketing strategies. Market strategies are the result of a meticulous market analysis. A market analysis forces the entrepreneur to become familiar with all aspects of the market so that the target market can be defined and the company can be positioned in order to garner its share of sales. A market analysis also enables the entrepreneur to establish pricing, distribution, and promotional strategies that will allow the company to become profitable within a competitive environment. In addition, it provides an indication of the growth potential within the industry, and this will allow developing estimates for the future of the business. Begin market analysis by defining the market in terms of size, structure, growth, prospects, trends, and sales potentials. The total aggregate sales of competitors will provide with a fairly accurate estimate of the total potential market. Once the size of the market has been determined, the next step is to define the target market. The target market narrows down the total market by concentrating on segmentation factors that will determine the total addressable market, the total number of users within the sphere of the business's influence. Projecting market share. Arriving at a projection of the market share for a business plan is very much a subjective estimate. It is based on not only an analysis of the market, but on a highly targeted and competitive distribution, pricing, and promotional strategies. For instance, even though there may be a sizable number of premium Pilsner drinkers to form the total feasible market, we need to be able to reach them through distribution network at a price point that is competitive, and then we have to let them know it is available and where they can buy it. How effectively one can achieve distribution, pricing, and promotional goals determines the extent to which we will be able to garner market share. In order to project market share over the time frame of the business plan, we will need to consider two factors. The industry growth, which will increase the total number of users. This is determined by growth models as described in the market research. Most projections utilize a minimum of 2 growth models by defining different industrial sales scenarios. The industry sales scenarios should be based on leading indicators of industry sales, which will most likely be industry sales, industry segment sales, demographic data, and historical precedents. Conversion of users from the total feasible market. This is based on a sales cycle similar to a product life cycle where we have 5 distinct stages: early pioneer users, early majority users, late majority users, and late users. Now, pricing the product. Pricing product is important because it will have a direct effect on the success of the business. Though pricing strategy and computations can be complex, the basic rules of pricing are straightforward. All prices must cover costs. The best and the most effective way of lowering sales prices is to lower the cost. The prices must reflect the dynamics of cost, demand, changes in the market, and response to the competition. Prices must be established to assure the sales. Product utility, longevity, maintenance, and end use must be judged continually and target prices adjusted accordingly. Prices must be set to preserve order in the marketplace. Distribution. Distribution includes the entire process of moving the product from the factory to the end user. The type of distribution network company chooses will depend upon the industry and the size of the market. A good way to make decision is to analyze the competitors to determine the channels they are using and then decide whether to use the same type of channel or an alternative that may provide with a strategic advantage. Some of the more common distribution channels include direct sales. The most effective distribution channel is to sell directly to the end user. OEM, original equipment manufacturer. Sales. When your product is sold to the OEM, it is incorporated into the finished product and it is distributed to the end user. The manufacturer's representatives. One of the best ways to distribute a product, manufacturers' reps, as they are known, are salespeople who operate out of agencies that handle an assortment of complementary products and divide their selling time among them. Then you have wholesale distributors. Using this channel, a manufacturer sells to a wholesaler who in turn sells it to a retailer or other agent for further distribution through the channel until it reaches the end user. Then we have brokers, third-party distributors who often buy directly from the distributor or wholesaler and sell it to the retailers or end users. Retail distributors. Distributing a product through this channel is important if the end user of product is the general consuming public. Now let's discuss the new product development process. Improving and updating product lines is crucial for the success for any organization. Failure for an organization to change could result in a decline in sales and with competitors racing ahead. The process of NPD is crucial within an organization. Products go through the stages of their life cycle and will eventually have to be replaced. New product development has 8 stages. These stages will be discussed briefly. At this stage, the company has decided to introduce the new product in the market. It will take all necessary steps to produce and distribute the new product. The production department will make plans to produce the product. The marketing department will make plans to distribute the product. And the finance department will provide the finance for introducing the new product. Now, in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. A market analysis also enables the entrepreneur to establish pricing, distribution and promotional strategies that will allow the company to become more profitable within a competitive environment. Products require different marketing, financial, manufacturing, purchasing and human resource strategies in each life cycle stage. The terms product life cycle and industry life cycle both refer to the 4 stages of introduction, growth, maturity and decline. The product life cycle goes through many phases, involves many professional disciplines and requires many skills, tools and processes. Effective product lifestyle management (PLM) improves the ability of the manufacturing enterprise to make better and faster product related decisions.